What's poppin', y'all, and welcome back to the Masterclass Sports Channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Worley vs. Clark card that happened this past Sunday in England. Alright, y'all, welcome back to the Masterclass Sports Channel. So, today, I know probably a lot of people in the U.S. didn't see this fight because this happened in England yesterday on a Sunday. It's Easter Sunday, probably people were busy, but, I had some time. So, this card right here in England, but I gotta say something. England always puts on, some of the best, local cards. I wouldn't even say it's local, more like regional cards, like the British titles, those English titles, they mean so much over there. And man, those fights are always bangers. And I'm gonna talk about three fights specifically. I'm gonna talk about the Ben Whittaker versus Leon Williams fight, the Viddal Riley versus Mikel Lawal, and then the main event, which was a banger, bro. It was a banger. This weekend was amazing for boxing. But the main event being Fabio Worley versus Fraser Clark. That fight was amazing. So starting off with Ben Whittaker versus Leon Williams. Okay, so first and foremost, we gotta talk about that entrance. All right, no longer the surgeon, he is the drunken master, Ben Whittaker. If y'all don't know about him, he's the guy that went super viral for the fight against his last fight against, I can't even remember the guy's name, but he was just styling on, bro. And it was kind of very much the same in this fight. A little less, I'm not gonna lie. He kind of got exposed a little bit, but first and foremost, let's talk about the ring entrance. Bro came in the damn I want to be Hokage fit, bro. Had the whole yellow flash cloak on and everything. The entrance was kind of fire. Me being an anime nerd, if you can see this right here, I'm a bit of an anime nerd. That entrance was fire, and the fit was fire. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit was clean. Okay, so now talking about the fight. It was a complete domination by Ben Whittaker. There was obviously some he kind of got exposed a little bit. Obviously he was trying a little too hard to try to go a little viral again, so he was getting clipped with some shots, but he was still dominating the fight. He had a knockdown, I think it was in the second or first round, and then for the most part he completely dominated the fight. He was still, he's still styling, the movement, and everything like that, but in all that, he was getting clipped a little bit more than usual. I think, in my mind, as the level of opponents gets higher, and I said this in the last video, as the level of opponents gets higher, he's not going to be able to survive it. It's like the same thing with Prince Nassim Hamed. As the level of opponents got higher, there's tape on you. They're going to figure you out at some point. So I think as the level of opponents gets higher, he should start focusing, because he's already pretty technical of a fighter. He's clean, his combos are clean, his head movement is real clean. He just needs to tighten it up a little bit more as he gets higher up, because the higher up the opponent, the more they're going to be able to counter those kind of slick head movements and the hands down and everything like that, and it's just not going to work. He's going to get clipped with a big shot, and just like Prince Nassim Hamed, he'll get dropped. So I think the higher he gets, the less and less he needs to do that. I think now is a perfect time to do that, because obviously he'll go viral. People will be a lot more interested in this style. But the more he gets to championship level, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Now, the next fight we're gonna talk about is Viddal Riley versus Mikel Lethal Lawal, which is funny enough name because he was everything but lethal. Viddal gave him a boxing lesson. I'm not gonna hold you. It wasn't the most exciting fight for those that are more into knockouts and more into big bloodbaths and everything like that, like the last card that happened on Saturday or the main event. But it was his game plan was flawless. It was hit, don't get hit. Mikel Lawal had I don't know what his game plan was, but had no answer for it. He could barely land a punch, couldn't cut off the ring. Every time Mikel Lawal would throw a punch, he'd get countered, and then Viddal Riley would escape. Now, I gotta say this, for those that say that Jake Paul is on Viddal Riley's level, I'm gonna tell you all this right now. Viddal Riley would dog walk Jake Paul. He would give him even worse boxing lesson, because I'm telling you right now, although I think Jake Paul has scarier power than Mikel Lawal, because obviously, Mikel Lawal couldn't even use his power. like, it doesn't mean anything if you can't land a punch. And I know Jake Paul is not going to be able to stop that movement. You know, Viddal Riley's too slick of a boxer, especially at the cruiserweight. The way he moves, 10 rounds of just making you miss and then hitting you with 3-4 punch combinations. Man, this man was like. This man was catching jabs, uppercut to the body, hooks, like 1, 2, 3s, slip. Like it was the cleanest boxing lesson I could have seen. And honestly, I think he had a better performance than Chamberlain did against Lawal. And I think the next fight Viddal Riley needs to have next is against Isaac Chamberlain.
You can box like that against me, you got another thing coming. I'm not gonna lie, because this fight, listen, it's nothing.
Listen, you beat that same guy and started shedding tears. You see any tears on my face?
Listen, because you didn't perform. What kind of performance is that? That performance was dead. Yeah, so?
Listen, it's standard to me. This
bro,
we expected this.
You punches. You're told, your own coach is telling you to be brave. Because you're not on it in that ring, bro. You're out here running scared, bro. Don't do that.
Just because Bobby has to talk to you all kind, yeah. And my dad can talk to me how he likes. Don't start piping up with the blue shades. Don't start.
Wait, what? Say be brave. What? You don't have no heart. Your coach has to tell you to be.
Chamberlain. That fight needs to be next, and I think we have a new British champion over there in England in Viddal Riley. Not just a YouTuber. That dude is a boxer. I promise you that. Ain't no Jake Paul. So now we're gonna talk about the main event. This freaking heavyweight fight was a banger. This is why I love like those fights that happen in England. I will always tune in because they're always so live, stadium packed in the O2 Arena, bro. They like both fighting for the, I think it was the WBA or WBO, and then the British Commonwealth and all those regional titles. And bro, man, them people out there, they show out for their fighters, bro. That was an amazing fight beginning to end, bro. Fabio Wardley was doing amazing with the counters. He was constantly countering, throwing combinations. Like, he was constantly landing with those combinations. Frazier Clark was landing with the jab consistently. Also, on top of that right uppercut, man, he was landing that thing at will. I think and for all those that didn't see, it ended in a draw. I think it was one to Fabio, one to Frazier, and then the third judge saw it as a draw. Honestly, I saw it as a draw as well. And then on top of that, Viddal Riley, I saw it 9-1, and then Whittaker, I saw it 8-0. But back to the main event, I saw it about the same. There was a knockdown in the earlier rounds. I think it was like the 4th or 5th round. I can't remember. But I think both of those fighters should not be mad at their performance. They both were having success, and then they were both getting countered. Like Frazier Clark with that right uppercut, and the jab was, bro, if you look at Fabio Wardley's face, it was destroyed. His nose was destroyed, all from the jab and that uppercut. And then Fabio Wardley was having success with the countering and the combinations. He was throwing body head. Man, it was a banger, man. I love heavyweight fights like that. Like, nobody got knocked out, but they were going stroke for stroke, bro. They were just punch for punch, bro. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. And honestly, I think they need to run that back before anything. And I think both of them agree they want to run that back because honestly, that fight will be bigger than the first one. To be honest with you, like, if you don't know about these two now, you should, bro. These dudes were banging, bro. Banging. They were trying to kill each other. And like, I think honestly, if I had to give an edge for the second fight, I think Frazier Clark, if he works on his cardio, if he gets that cardio where he can do all 12 like clean, if he can do 14, 15 rounds, I think he can win that fight because his jab was landing the whole night. The right uppercut was landing the whole night. If he can get that cardio down pat, I'm telling you right now, he wins that fight. Fabio Wardley was having success, was landing the combos and everything like that. But the only problem I see is that they weren't having as much mustard as they were like Frazier Clark's punches were. Although, yeah, he did get the knockdown, but I think it more had to do with the fact that Clark was tired rather than he landed the cleaner punches. You know what I mean? But yeah, those fights were amazing. Those are the 3 fights that I thought were like one of the best fights on those English. I think those were the 3 best fights on those card. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I've been your boy Masterclass. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.